Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another live stream. Today, we are going to be going over once again cloud computing. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so let's start off with what cloud computing is. So it's the on-demand delivery of compute power, database storage, applications, and other IT resources through a cloud services platform via the internet with pay-as-you-go pricing. It started in 2006, where AWS sold IT infrastructure services to businesses as web services, and it ultimately provided a simple way to access servers, storage, databases, and a broad set of application services over the internet. A cloud services platform, like AWS, owns and maintains the network connected hardware required for these services, while you provision and use what you need. It also helps to build and run applications and can be used for the deployment and the management of applications. It's available to hundreds of thousands of customers across 190 countries. It offers powerful resources at low operational cost. And its classically provisioning services are like a Goldilocks problem. And with AWS, you're able to elastically scale up and down as needed. So here are some cloud benefits. One of them is the ability to deliver innovative new features to the market quicker. You can focus on adding differentiated value, and it ultimately makes new ideas feasible that were once out of reach. Experimentation becomes fast and low risk, and it can adjust to fit any workload. It also helps businesses serve their customers globally without the need for expensive time-consuming expansion. And it can deploy web services using tools and languages such as Chef, Visual Studio, PHP, Java, Python, etc. And it also connects to personal infrastructure by a private dedicated community connectivity. All right, so now for some cloud benefits. So you can trade your capital expense for your variable expense. So this means you only pay for what you consume and you only pay when you're consuming. You can benefit from massive economies of scale. So you'll have lower variable cost, you'll be able to achieve higher economies of scale, and it will lead to lower prices. You can stop guessing about capacity, so you can access as much or as little as needed, and you can scale up or down when necessary within a few minutes' notice. You can also increase your speed and agility. So you can reduce the time it takes to make resources available, and this causes a large increase in agility because of the cost and time it takes to experiment being extraordinarily lower. You can also stop spending money running and maintaining data centers. So this is going to enable you to focus on your own customers. And finally, you can go global in minutes. You can deploy your application in multiple regions around the world extremely quickly in just a few simple steps. And this means you can provide lower latency, which is the delay before transfer of data, and a better experience for your customers at a small cost. So now talking about the TCO. The TCO stands for total cost of ownership, and it reduces the need to invest in large capital decisions. It provides a pay-as-you-go model that allows you to invest in the capacity that you need to use. And the TCO calculators allow you to estimate the cost and the savings. The calculators also modify assumptions that best meet your business needs, and the calculator provides directional guidance on possible savings. The tool itself is built on an underlying calculation model, and it generates a fair assessment of value that a customer may achieve. It's important to note that the TCO calculator results should only be used as an approximation. So again, another video that will be found in the description of the live stream. So now moving on to day two. Let's start off by talking about the types of cloud computing. So there are several different models of cloud computing, and they allow different amount of control over web services. The three main types are infrastructure as a service or IaaS, platform as a service or PaaS, and software as a service or SaaS. So starting off with the infrastructure as a service or IaaS. This contains the basic building blocks for cloud IT, and it typically provides access to networking features, computers, and data storage space. It has the highest level of flexibility and management, and it's most similar to existing IT resources. It also gives you instant computing infrastructure. Now for platform as a service or PaaS. This removes the need for organizations to manage the underlying infrastructure. It allows focus on the deployment and the management of applications. It's able to help business owners be more efficient, and it disregards human concern over resource procurement, capacity planning, software maintenance, patching, etc. It's a combination of hardware and software components. Okay, now for software as a service. So, software as a service provides customers with a completed product that is run and managed by the service provider. SaaS is usually referred to as end user applications. And here's there's no user concern about how the service is actually managed or service maintenance. You only need to know how you are going to use the software. An example of this is web based email being used to send and receive an email without having to manage the feature additions. Another video for the description. Okay, so this is day 3. How to deploy the cloud infrastructure easily. So when you're thinking about how to deploy the cloud infrastructure in the most easy way possible, there are 4 key areas that you want to make sure um, that you think about. Number 1 is the highly trusted global infrastructure. Number 2 is the broad compatibility with all popular workloads. Number 3 is the fast and secure private networking. And then number 4 is the tools to control access to all of the cloud resources. So the highly trusted global infrastructure. It's designed for high security and availability needs of the large enterprises, and it's able to offer capabilities that restrict unauthorized access or usage without sacrificing flexibility at the same time. It acts as a backup for all features. Number 2 being providing broad compatibility with popular workloads. So it can spin up virtual servers, hard drives, databases, networks, and more. It easily set up virtual servers using Linux or Windows. It also provides fast and secure private networking. So you want to provision a private section of the AWS cloud that you define and retain control of. And this is done with simple IP networking. The cloud environment here becomes an extension of your on-premises environment, and it uses a standard pipe that encrypts data when it moves from your environment to the cloud. More data creates dedicated network connection from your existing data centers to AWS, and it gives you predictable network, and it also increases performance by bypassing the public internet. There are certain tools that you need to control access to all cloud resources. You can create and manage users and integrate them with your existing identity systems. Um, you're given greater flexibility to rapidly create new apps, lower costs for existing apps, and benefit from the global infrastructure and security of AWS. Okay, so now for the cloud. So cloud-based applications are, of course, fully deployed in the cloud, and applications in the cloud are created in the cloud as well. They can also be migrated from an existing infrastructure in order to take advantage of benefits. And cloud-based applications can be built on a low-level infrastructure, but they can also use higher services that provide detachment from management, architecting, and scaling goals. Now discussing hybrid. So a hybrid is a way to connect infrastructure and applications at the same time. It connects cloud-based resources and existing resources. A common method of hybrid deployment is to extend and to grow an organization's infrastructure into the cloud while connecting cloud resources to the actual internal system. And this way you can run applications in both cloud and on premise. And you can also access AWS whenever you need to. On premise. So on premise is also referred to as the private cloud, and it uses virtualization and resource management tools. On premises deployment leads to the inability to receive cloud computing benefits, and it's used to provide dedicated resources. Typically, they're the same as the previous IT infrastructure. On premise uses application management and virtualization technologies in order to try to increase resource usage in general. All right, another video for the description. Day four. So day four starts off with AWS Security. So AWS infrastructure installs safeguards in order to protect privacy. And this data is kept in highly secure data centers. And it manages dozens of compliance programs. Segments of this compliance have already been completed. And AWS has the highest security without the user managing their own facility. So this saves money at the same time. With AWS Security, you can scale it and you can also scale your AWS cloud usage along with it. And the security stays regardless of the cloud size that you have. So this is a video on AWS security. Now for AWS Analytics Services. So this is a set of services that basically handle every step of the analytics process. The services are powerful, flexible, and they're also simple to use because they enable organizations to put their unorganized data to work efficiently. Example services of analytics services are listed below. There are four of them here: Elasticsearch, Amazon Kinesis, Amazon Redshift, and Amazon Athena. So Elasticsearch, to start off, is an open source search and analytics engine, which is ultimately used in order to log analytics, real time application monitoring, and also user click analytics. Amazon Kinesis enables you to absorb, buffer, and process streaming data in order to find insights promptly. Amazon Redshift can ask questions and combine exabytes of both unorganized and organized data across your full data warehouse, operational database, and data lake. It's important to note here that a data lake is a centralized repository which allows you to store all of your structured and unstructured data at any scale. And you can use Amazon Redshift because it uses a language called SQL, or Standard Query Language. And finally on this list, Amazon Athena is an interactive question service that makes it very simple to analyze data in Amazon Edge 3 using standard query language. AWS Compute Services. So Amazon Web Services offers multiple services that can deploy, run, and scale applications as virtual servers, containers, or even code. Three examples on this slide: Amazon EC2, Amazon Lightsail, and Amazon Elastic Container Service. Amazon EC2 obtains servers quickly and inexpensively. Amazon Lightsail creates a virtual private server, or VPS, on AWS. Amazon Elastic Container Service, or ECS, runs in Docker containers. So Docker containers contain software that are in standardized units, which are known as containers. And these containers package everything a software needs to run, which includes libraries, system tools, code, and runtime as well. So as you can see on this slide, there's a video in the corner, and just like all the other videos from before, it's also going to be posted in the description. So for AWS Database Services, these are necessary databases for applications such as managed relational, non-relational, data warehouse, in-memory data store, and graph databases. Amazon DynamoDB is a fast and flexible database service for any workload. In DynamoDB, you only pay for what you utilize, similar to the other types, other things we've seen in AWS in general. It's a key value database that delivers nearly instantaneous single digit performance at any scale. It's built to handle internet applications, it's a fully managed service, and it handles more than 1 trillion requests per day. Amazon Relational Database Service, or RDS, is a relational database service with 6 well-known database engines, and it can be set up, operated, and scaled in just a few steps. Now talking about day 5. So we start off day 5 by discussing AWS Developer Tools. So these developer tools contain code that automatically create, evaluate, and deploy applications. They're a set of services that quickly and carefully deliver software. And these services store and hold control of your application's source code. They're used for constant integration, continuous delivery, infrastructure as code, and monitoring. AWS Code Pipeline. This can create an end-to-end software release workflow using services. And it's a continuous delivery service that automates the release of pipelines in order to have both a fast and reliable application as well as constant infrastructure updates. Um, Code Pipeline effectively and efficiently delivers these features and updates. Now, AWS Cloud Development Kit. So, AWS Cloud Development Kit, or AWS CDK, is an open software development structure to define your cloud application resources using known programming languages. This supplies cloud applications, and it can be a challenging process that requires you to perform manual actions, write custom scripts, maintain templates, or even learn domain specific languages. AWS CEK utilizes the familiarity and expressive power of programming languages in order to model your applications. AWS Code Deploy is the tool that installs applications and updates servers. It lowers the workload on developers and quickens the releases of new products and features. Code Deploy makes it simple for users to rapidly release new features, help dodge downtime during application development, and deal with the complexity of updating applications. Positives of Code Deploy include automated deployments, minimized downtime, centralized control, and ultimately being easy to adopt. Now going into more detail on AWS Management Tools. These tools allow you to provision, monitor, and set forth your cloud environment. You can maintain stable control without restricting your development speed. AWS CloudWatch. This is a service which was built for developers, system operators, site reliability engineers, and IT managers. CloudWatch provides information and insights in order to monitor your applications, understand and respond to system wide performance changes, optimize resource utilization, and get an allied view of operational health. It gathers monitoring and operational data in the form of logs, metrics, and events, which provides you with the linked view of AWS resources, applications, and services that run on AWS and on premises servers. AWS CloudFormation provides a common language to supply important assets in the cloud. These provisions can be automated to be sent over and over again, and it models infrastructure using a simple text file. And finally, AWS Systems Manager. So this allows full control of the structure of AWS, and it automates the tasks which are needed for smooth operations. It helps guarantee security and compliance, and it also detects problems quickly. AWS Networking and Content Delivery Services. These allow you to isolate your cloud infrastructure, scale your request handling capacity, and connect physical network to private virtual network. The networking products are going to work together in order to meet the requirements. Elastic Load Balancing coordinates with Amazon Virtual Private Cloud or VPC in order to give networking and security features. It distributes application traffic among different services, and it handles traffic in one or multiple availability zones or data centers. It also improves scalability or adjustability of your applications. Now for storage services. AWS storage services are reliable, secure, and adjustable locations for your data. AWS offers a wide variety of cloud storage services to support both application and archival compliance requirements. Archival requirements are the dates when things can be archived, and they're usually stored away and hard to get back. One can choose from different options to build the base of your cloud storage management solution. In AWS, the different types include they include object storage, file storage, block storage, backup, data transfer, and edge computing storage. And another video.
Hi all, this is Shay.
So that is it for today. Thank you for watching this live stream. And once again, we will see you next week where we cover um, either innovation or startups. Thank you for watching.